Our captain's a fraud, lads.
Brian Clough didn't just manage football teams. He managed people in ways so unusual, so clever, that players are still telling the stories decades later. Today you'll hear one of his most genius moments, straight from the mouth of goalkeeper Mark Crossley. Trust me, this is peak Clough. Crossley was Nottingham Forest's keeper in the late 80s and 90s. A young lad thrown into the deep end under one of football's most unpredictable managers. Forest were fighting hard, the Premier League era was dawning, and Clough was in the later stages of his legendary career. And that's when this story takes place.
I always say man is on a level playing field, me. And if you stepped above it, he knocked you back down to earth. If you were struggling, he'd give you the... So everybody in the dressing room...
Just all on the same level.
And would he do that with, like you said,
Yeah.
would he do that with Stuart Pearce,
Yeah,
like England captain?
England captain in the dressing room. You know, if
Would he treat him the same, like bring him down a peg or two?
Yeah, well, perfect example. Captain of England as well, by the way. Now, he's gone away to play for England on a Tuesday, and there was kind of bits of fallout about him signing a new contract. Won't sign a new contract. Man U's after him, Newcastle, they're all after him, all big boys. He's captain of England. Forest were a sustainable club, you know, like we're always top 6, top 8, financially, probably about that as well. So wages wise, we're probably about that as well. So he's gone away, played for England, and the gaffer's not happy with him. He's not signing a new contract, not showing any loyalty, whatever it might be. I don't know, but in Pearce's head, all these clubs are after him or whatever. He feels as though he's served his time. He's done 10 years. It's time for him to move on. He's captain in England. So what he did, manager said to him, when can you be back for training when you've been away to play for England on Tuesday? And he's gone Thursday, 2 o'clock. Land at East Midlands in the morning, drive over, be ready to train at 2. So as we're in the dressing room, all players are in, and we used to have this towel in the middle of the dressing room with a ball on it all through the week, because we got changed in there during the week and all to go training. And this ball hardly ever moved. Like, you know, if you kicked it off, you go fined and all that. We're part of our like discipline in that dressing room. And this day, Gaffer's walked in, Clough's walked in with a shopping bag in his hand, and there's an iron in it, right? And he walks over to the ball and he kicks ball off towel, and he puts bag down up towel, and he steps back so everybody can see him.
Centre stage.
And he goes to Pearcey, how did you think you played on Tuesday for England, skipper? And Pearcey goes, yeah, I thought f***ing Dan O'White, yeah, fine. Well, Clough is gone. Well, I thought you were shit, son. Wasn't he, lads? He's gone to the dressing room. We're over, I thought he did all right, like, you know. He says, and I've seen the programme from last Saturday's game. Aston Villa at home, page 9, bottom left-hand corner, advertisement. Stuart Pearce, electrician. What the f***'s all that about, son? He says, well, when I played non-league football for Wealdstone, I'm an electrician by trade, and we've kept the business running in the family. So I asked the fellow that writes the programme, put me a little advertisement in, and I get my signed England shirt, deal for a deal and all that. Our captain's a fraud, lads.
Notice how Clough immediately takes control of the situation. He wasn't afraid to call out his own players if it meant making a point. That's the brilliance.
He says, what do you mean? He said, if Barbara, my wife's at home now, and she calls that number because the light bulb's gone out, you're not coming, are you? He said, no. My brother is. Told you, lads, captain's a fraud. And as he's doing this, he's walking over to the bag in the middle of the dressing room with this iron in it. And he bends down and he pulls this iron out. He goes, as a matter of fact, son, Barbara's iron's fucked. If you don't mend it, you ain't playing Saturday.
Clough could have spoke to Stuart Pearce in private. Instead, he turned the moment into something unforgettable for the whole team.
And that iron were mended, and on his desk before game Saturday did it. So that's like, you're like stepping above that line again when I'm on about England captain. There you go, son. Knock you back down to earth. Brilliant.
He knew he was going to do that before the game then, didn't he? If he said
He obviously planned it.
What time can you get in?
Yeah.
2 o'clock Thursday, so he's known what he was going to do, regardless of how we played.
Planned, but...
Planned madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's planned madness, really.
Yeah.
This wasn't a one-off either. Clough had a reputation for these psychological tricks, motivating through humour, embarrassment or sheer unpredictability. That's why stories like this live on. Brian Clough could make a point in 10 seconds that another manager would take a month to get across. Players didn't just respect him, they feared him, laughed with him and remembered him forever. That's genius. If you loved this Brian Clough story, there are hundreds more. Subscribe to Mind the Ball for the greatest football tales you'll never see on Match of the Day. And tell me in the comments, do you think Clough would survive in today's era? See you in the next story.